In the heart of deep East Texas, nestled among a sanctuary of towering pines, lies Stephen F. Austin State University. Since classes began on September 18, 1923, and through the dedication of generations of faculty, staff, students, and alumni, SFA has grown from a small teachers' college to the nationally recognized institution it is today. And that journey continues. Named in honor of one of the builders of Texas and situated on property formerly owned by another, the legacy of SFA endures as we celebrate 100 years of academic excellence and tradition, 100 years of community and lumberjack achievement, and 100 years of building lives, fulfilling dreams, and adding to our family tree, one lumberjack at a time.
We have a photo that shows my grandfather crawling through the fence. He had taken a group of men onto North Street and said, this is where we're gonna try to put SFA if we can buy this land here.
And then the evolution from the State Teachers College to State College, then to State University, and the expansion of our programs, the growth of our enrollment. At our May commencement, we will graduate 1,419 students, and that's 1,201 more graduates than there were students during the first class day.
The day that it opened its doors, and Birdwell was a very practical man. And so when the doors opened and students, paying students, were coming in the door, he said, that's our birthday. It happened to also be his birthday.
All my history with SFA starts way back in the late 90s when I was a student here.
And I was like, I need to find an institution that has something that I'm really interested in and passionate about that I can pursue in the future.
Started in the registrar's office, worked in the Department of Physics and Astronomy, and then moved into advising. So total full-time years, 22 and a half years. In November it'll be 23.
I know a few things about Texas and SFA and Nacogdoches.
I remember the 50th anniversary. That was a big thing, you know. And now the 100th anniversary.
I came to SFA in 1965, and I graduated with a BBA in accounting in 1970. It was a very fruitful period in my life, the years I was here at SFA. It was during the turbulent 60s. A lot was going on in terms of the mores and norms of the country, racial things, and this campus was a good place to be at that time.
I think that SFA calls to people who want to be somewhere because they love the place.
There's just something about that small, close-knit family feel that really is tough to replicate in a collegiate setting, but SFA's mastered it, and it really is because of the people.
We always had board members who had a connection to SFA and who were very much interested in seeing the university blossom, bloom, grow. So it's continued to exist because it fills a particular niche in higher education in East Texas.
Being a solid university and maintaining itself over 100 years now was not accidental. I've known presidents of SFA going back to Johnson and Baker Patillo. you know, they bled purple, not red.
Well, every operation is the amalgamation of the people.
How many schools can say that they've been open 100 years?
If you have good teachers, you have a good school.
It's more than just about the students that are here now. There's so many people that came here before us to help make this institution what it is.
It's always given a life to Nacogdoches. Can you imagine Nacogdoches without SFA?
The university is such a benefit to us. The fine arts department, for example, my degree was in music, but when I came to Nacogdoches, I was blown away by the excellence of the fine arts.
You can go to lots of schools and have a wonderful college career. But let's face it, at the end of the day, what you want is an education that will prepare you to pursue whatever career it is you're looking for.
There are other places in the state that have courses and in forestry, but as the foresters, and I say this too, but we have all the trees.
You know, this is the Mid-Texas Pines, right? We found peaceful shrines, so maybe that's why I've stayed so long.
I think people that come here kind of fall in love with the area and the campus. The school is great. Teaching is super. And we've got some great new programs. The business school is just superior. So I'm very pleased with the way SFA has progressed.
Things that aren't great don't last that long. So I think it shows that SFA is truly great.
I brought my grandson in when he was about 11 and showed him this yearbook. And the whole alumni staff was out there in the hall with us looking at the book. And my grandson looks at the picture. He said, "Pawpaw, what happened to your hair?" But that was my pitch in 1966.
When you're an educator, when you have a person come back and say what you did mattered, man, that's all it's about, right?
My mother single-handedly raised me, my brother, and my sister, and she taught us two things. One, there are always those less fortunate than yourself, and to help others. And two, you must further your education.
But don't forget why your parents sent you down there. That is to come home with a degree. So that kept us from doing anything stupid, you know.
I'm really excited to see what happens. There's the one thing that is constant in the world is change. And so making sure that we change but don't lose who we are, that's really going to be the task of leadership moving forward at SFA. And I'm just excited to be a part of it moving forward.
Because there's only been 10 presidents of Stephen F. Austin State University. There's been several interims, but serving as the first female interim, I think, is very historical to end the 100 years and enter our new 100 years as part of the University of Texas system, and look forward to our new permanent president. There's just so much to build on, so many programs to build on, and just so much we can hope for success for our students.
I wish I could predict for you what's going to happen in the next 100 years. I'm probably more concerned about the next 2, 3, or maybe 10. But the reality is, Stephen F. Austin is still going to be here.
I would tell you that there is no finer university in the state than Stephen F. Austin University. It is a proud university. The traditions are incredible. And one thing to keep in mind, even though SFA has joined the University of Texas system, they will always be Stephen F. Austin University, and they will always be the Lumberjacks, and we're proud of that.
So I'm very glad that I chose SFA.
And I can't wait to see what's going to happen for the next 100 years.
This is a big year for Stephen F. Austin State University. First of all, welcome to the UT system. This year, you will join our 13 other institutions, and we're delighted to have that happen. But this is a big year for another reason, too. It's the 100th anniversary of Stephen F. Austin State University. For an entire century, the university has driven education and the economy, way of life in East Texas. So thank you for that. We look forward to joining with you now on the next century of progress as a UT institution of the first rank. So, welcome, happy birthday, and Axum.
In 1922, when SFA neared the day of its opening, our first president, Dr. Alton Birdwell, shared what he had in mind for the goal and aspiration of the new college in Nacogdoches. In a community rich in history and tradition, surrounded by as beautiful a forest as can be found anywhere, this institution is destined to become the star of hope to thousands of young men and women. They will come from every hamlet in East Texas and will carry back with them the wholesome, strengthening, constructive influences of cultured minds. These words, spoken by Dr. Birdwell more than a century ago, remain just as relevant today. And as SFA enters its second century, as the newest member of the University of Texas system, we look ahead to a new century of achievement, a new century of excellence, new dreams, new hopes, the boundless opportunities that await us. We should approach the new year with fortitude and courage. Optimism and buoyant hopes should reign universally.